queens, you're welcome to part 2 of this video. If you're here to watch part 1, please, the link is in the description. You can go ahead and watch that so that you can understand where we are. So I've gone ahead to pin my pattern pieces to the lining piece, and I've added my seam allowance. For the side seams, I've added 2 inches, and for the mid pieces, that's for the joining of the front bustier, I've added half an inch round. So you can see that I've added up and I've added at the armhole as well. Then if you're doing this, you're going to go ahead for the zipper area and add 1.5 inch. It's usually 1, but 1.5 inch, especially if you're going to join close up before joining. So 1.5 inch at the zipper area. Now for your fabric, you're going to go ahead and cut this out, and you're going to go ahead and place this on your fabric and also cut out following the same allowance that you've added to the lining piece. So you're going to have 2 pieces of each, your main fabric and your lining. Next, you're going to go ahead and cut out your interfacing. For the front, I cut out interfacing for the front, that's for the lining piece and for the main fabric. And then for the back, I cut out interfacing for only the main fabric. Now you can go ahead and cut out for the lining as well. That is a matter of choice. I just did what I needed to do. So queens, I want you to pay attention to this part. For this, I am folding the interfacing and I'm cutting for the middle piece and for the side pieces. I want you to just pay attention to what I am doing for this point. So whatever I'm cutting is stopping at the under bust line for both the middle piece and the side piece of this bustier, and I am not adding allowance to the upper part. I'm only adding allowance to the sides. So for the midpoint, this mid part, I went ahead to cut out on stay as well. I cut that out on fold 2 times, making that 4 layers and 2 layers of this. So for the side panel, you're going to take your pattern for the side and you're going to place it down. You're going to cut round, leaving your 1/2 inch allowance on the side. Then you're going to make sure that it ends at the under bust, and then I want you to pay serious attention to this point. You're going to take out your paper, measure from your bust point. You're going to measure from your bust point towards the side, and you're going to be measuring out your bust span, that's your nipple to nipple, divided by 2, which is 3.5 for this person, and then you can choose to add 1/2 inch. Now this makes it 4 inches, so you're going to cut and you're going to just round that out into your under bust. So you can see that, make sure that this is stopping at your under bust line. So for this I cut out 2 layers per side for each color. So 2 layers of black, of this black interfacing, and 2 layers of stay for the sides. I did that 2 times because we have 2 sides. Then I went ahead to face the black ones right sides facing each other, and then put the stay right sides facing each other. Like, put the black, after you face the black right sides facing each other, then you put the stay on top of the black. Do you understand what I mean? The gummy side of the stay on the black, and the gummy side of the stay on the other side of the black. Now I did this for all the patterns, the both of the sides and for the center. So I went ahead to press this, and you can see that it has some kind of form, right? You go ahead and you're going to press all of this together, and you're going to press your interfacing to your fabric. Now when you've done that to all your fabrics that you cut out interfacing for, you're going to take the padded interfacing, I'll call that the padded interfacing, and you're going to place it on the middle pieces and the side pieces using hemming gum to glue it together. So after pressing with hemming gum, this is what I had for the front, and you can see how nicely this is beginning to come out. So ladies, I've gone ahead to cut out my skirt piece, and if you need a skirt pattern, I'm going to also be linking that in the description box. So but if you have your skirt pattern or your method of drafting your skirt pattern, you can go ahead and draft. Just make sure that whatever back tightening we did on this pattern is also done on your skirt from the waist area toward the hip. But if you watch my video, you would understand what I mean by the back tightening. So I'm going to drop that aside. I'm going to be working on the skirt, and then we're going to go ahead and join this. We're going to join this side panel to middle panel on both sides, starting from down up. So you're going to sew by half an inch or 0.75 inch so that it doesn't end up too curvy. So if you're having issues and it's so after joining, this is what I had. I also went ahead to do that on the lining, and then for the back I went ahead to join the zipper area, sewing it by 1.5 inch that we left for zipper allowance from up down. I also went ahead to do that for the lining of the back. Now this is our front, and you can see after joining, this is what we had. So you go ahead and give this a good press using your tailor's ham. You don't press it straight, please. Press your seams flat, and you would have your bustier properly ready. Then you're going to put this is what I had after ironing. You can see that the curves had come out properly and it was well curved. This is a very curvy bustier, and it requires a lot of technique to sew it. Now you're going to take your back piece that you have joined together, and you're going to place it on the front piece and sew the sides from up down, as you can see. So whatever seam allowance you left, you can do that, or you can take your client's bust measurement divided by 2 and waist divided by 2, mark them, connect from up down and sew. You're also going to go ahead and do this on your lining piece. You're going to do this on your lining piece. So after doing this is what you have. Now this method helps your feet to be proper, because sometimes if your allowance area is too bulky, it can have a way of affecting your fitting. So it's better to always do it like this. So it's not so bulky, and you're able to go ahead with every other part of your dress. So I measured the neckline, I measured my shoulder to my waist for how I was 16, and we started it from 6.5 at the neckline. So that 6.5 you're going to multiply by 2, because the back neckline, that's the yoke area, is also 6.5, right? So you multiply that by 2, making it 13. Then half inch for the front and half inch for the back joining, making it 14. Now for this tool, you double your net first of all. So you are going to fold your 2 layers to your right. You can see on this machine, you're going to turn your phone the other way. You can see that what I'm doing up already has a fold, right? You fold it to the right first, that's 4 layers. Then you're going to take that fold again and fold to the right again. That's what you can see me doing here. That makes it your 8 layers, because we're cutting this for the back and the front. So I'll repeat this. You're going to double your net first, and you're going to fold to the right. That is if you turn your phone and it looks horizontal, then you're going to fold again, and this second fold is going to be your 14. That is your front and your back yoke plus 1 inch. That's half half for joining to the bustier. So what I had here was 14. After this, I went ahead to just pin, because if you don't pin, you're going to have unequal areas. So you go ahead and pin, and then you make sure that everything is together literally. So you can see our fold. At this point I had 8 layers because I was using 4 layers of um tulle per area, so that the skin does not show by the time I pleat it together. Now our client doesn't want to show skin, so the width of this I used was 29 inches. So you have 14, and the stretchy area, you can see that the stretchy area was on the width. The stretchy area of the net was on the width. So 14 by 29, you pin properly, and you go ahead and you cut. After cutting, you're going to come back to your center fold. That is the upper part of this that you can see, and then you're going to cut again in the middle. You're going to count 4 if you're using 4. If you're using 2, you're going to count 2 per sleeve, and then you're going to cut, so that you don't cut into the one for the second sleeve. So after cutting, this is what I had. So in this video, you will see me just testing that for you to see. After cutting, this is what I had. That's 14 by 29. So when you fold it forward, you have the back and the front with their joining allowances, and when you pleat it, that's how it will be. So you go ahead and run your gathered stitch on both sides along the 29-inch width, from up side to side. Your gathered stitch, you run it, and then you go ahead and you gather up your veil net together. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to measure from the center point of your bustier, ½ inch on both sides. you mark that down. Then you're going to take your gathered sleeve, right side facing right side of the bustier. Remember, I've not added the lining to this. You're going to pin from that place to, you're going to pin, hold it together and just secure it with pins until you get to the side seam area. Now at the side seam area, you're going to stop 0.5 inch or 0.25 inch. I think I use 0.25 inch for this. 0.25 inch can work too, but I use 0.25 inch. So you stop 0.25 inch before the side seam. Then you're going to take, then you're going to take the other part of the gathered gathered sleeve. That's the second width. You can see I was still gathering mine on the camera. Anyway, that should guide someone on how to gather. So you go ahead and now that, because that one is your back. The second one is your back. The second area, you can see how I turned it. Please don't turn down that way so that you don't have, you should just watch very closely. Then you're going to start 0.25 or 0.5 inch away from your side seam. You're going to continue to where you marked for your zipper allowance notch, where you notched to know where to start your zipper allowance from. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to pin to that point, so you stop 0.25 inch before that notch, so that when you're going to fix your zipper you have enough space and your zip will not be struggling with your net and end up tearing it. So after doing that, this is what we had. You can see that the sleeve already came out even from just pinning. Now I pinned that way because if you pin the other way and you have to be struggling to remove the pin while you're sewing, that's a bit difficult. And if you choose to sew while the pins are on it the other way, you might break your needle, because if the needle and the pin meet, they're going to break. So that's why I'm pinning this way. So you're going to repeat this for the second side, and this is what you would have. You can see what I had. You can see the space for the arm to pass through to the outside, just like an armhole. You're going to take your lining that you already joined together and you're going to notch the middle. You're going to put it in the middle of your bustier and you're going to pin it all the way down. Mind you, at this point you have already sewn your gathers to your bustier, your gathered sleeve. And you're going to go ahead and um sew this lining piece round to the zipper allowance area. So this is what we had after doing that. You can see this already looks so nice. I was so happy. Then you're going to go ahead and measure from your 6.5. Of course, your 1 to 10. But you're starting 6.5 from the neckline again. You're going to measure out your bust. Of course, you know your neckline is 6.5. You're going to measure out 10, which is her bust point. You do that on the boat. You know we're supposed to use bra cups for this. So that's where our bra cup is going to stay. But your bra cup is going to be tacked to your lining. This is just a guide on how to attach your bra cup to this. I did not want to use hemming gum for this, so I went ahead to do it the manual way. So you tack, you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just bringing in the lining to where the bust point of the bra cup is. And you're going to hold that to the lining. You now hold the bra cup and the lining at that bust point, and that's where you're going to pin. So you're going to take your needle and thread and you're going to tack that to the lining. Now when your client wears this dress, it's going to be firm because it's going to be her exact measurement at the bust area. So don't worry about whether it's to shift or not. It's going to be firm when she wears it. You're going to take your lining and place it right sides facing each other with your fabric at the zipper area. You can see we sewed that before, so we have a crease line. Then you're going to sew that from up down. Now after doing that, this is what I had. So we're done with our upper parts, including our sleeves. I was done with my skirt and gone ahead to sew the skirt just as I did with the upper body, back and front together. Then, of course, by your client's waist and hip measurements, then I had gone ahead to close the zipper area like I did for the upper part. So I just had the front and the back to join. So you notch the middle of your front, of your up rather, and notch the middle of your down. That's your skirt. I'll call this the skirt and the blouse. So you notch the middle of your upper area and notch the middle of your lower area, your skirt and your blouse. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to attach center front to center front. You're going to sew that to the sides. Then you're going to attach your zipper. And when you're done, this is what we had. You can see this. This came out so fine, so fine. Not too open at the back because our client does not want a very deep back. So if you're okay with a deep back, you can choose to draw yours down a lot more. Thank you so much for watching, queens. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, turn on your